the fuck? There we go. Why isn't this doing this right? Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. I forgot to put deodorant on. I'm sorry. Hold on. I literally could smell one of my armpits and it was freaking me out. All right, we're gonna do today the energy forecast for the week and the new moon in Pisces reading, which is on the 6th. Tomorrow, the retrograde does start. Lots of healing. I've been posting a lot of things the last week that is aligned with my own healing journey, which I haven't done in a really long time because I usually keep my healing separate, but I have been feeling really called to share because I don't know why, but I am. And I'm really grateful for everybody who's connecting and also seeing and realizing that they're not alone because, this period of time that we're in right now, a lot of really deep wounds, a lot of deep wounds are coming to the surface, and we now have the opportunity to work through them and recognize them and heal them and forgive them and all of those things. So in me sharing, it's more for others to see that they're not alone. We're all going through healing. We're all going through this fucking healing process. And I know somebody said something to me that somebody left a comment that said, I'm so grateful to see people that I look up to are also going through things. Now, I always remind people this, that anybody you see on the internet who isn't sharing their healing journey does not mean that they're not going through a healing journey. Some people just choose not to share that vulnerability for their own personal reasons. If you are human, if you are living this human life, you are going through hell on earth, basically learning how to bring heavens to earth in your own existence. Every single person, Oprah, Jay-Z, Phil Good, whatever, whoever it is, everybody is going through something. So please remember that, because people are quick to think that the people that they look up to aren't going through anything. No, everyone is. That is why we are on this earth in the first place, is because we are all healing and we are all going through things and we are all shifting and we are all evolving. This is why we are here. Every single fucking person, even Gandhi, even Thich Nhat Hanh, even Buddha, everybody suffered and everybody has to heal from their suffering. Even Jesus, okay? So we're all here going through things. Now, all right, let's get into the cards. Oh gosh, somebody tell me the dates because I already didn't look. March, today's March 4th to March 10th. Okay. Asking God to bring through messages for each day of this week, starting with March 4th, 2019, March 5th, 2019, Wednesday, March 6th, 2019, Thursday, March 7th, 2019, Friday, March 8th, 2019, Saturday, March 9th, 2019, and Sunday, March 10th, 2019. Please, God, give us a message for each day this week. In behalf of the highest good of all souls involved, in order for all of us to prosper and grow and evolve, and to work through the things that we need to work through. This camera's kind of loose. I don't know why I keep fucking with this like it's going to get any better. There we go. Also, if you are extra sensitive to energies, I highly suggest staying away from any caffeine, sugary foods, things of those natures, things that you normally would eat, because not that you would normally eat them, but like me, I've been really loving matcha lattes. It's as much as my ego wanted it to, I kept myself away from it because I know it was going to heighten my oversensitivity to everybody and everything. So instead, I made dandelion tea with some shilajit and some manuka honey. And just ate some Indian food with rice. Oh God, it's so good. I'm gonna make some more when I'm done. I love tikka masala. Or this one was like something, tikka something with veggies. Okay. Monday, March 4th, 2019. Tuesday, March 5th, 2019. Wednesday, March 6th, 2019. Thursday, March 7th, 2019. Friday, March 8th, 2018. Saturday, March 9th, 2019. Sunday, March 10th, 2019. And then these next 4 cards following this are associated with the new moon in Pisces. God is going to give us a message for the new moon in Pisces on March 6th, 2019 with these next 4 cards. That's after we finish this. Okay. Monday, the 4 of Cups, and the 4 of Cups is always talking about in upright. It talks about these opportunities, right? Opportunities presenting themselves, and instead we're contemplating, and we're contemplating on what it is that we want prior to reaching for an opportunity. So I'm feeling this really heavy, and this coming in upright, or this coming in reverse, meaning please be cautious of from what I'm feeling is, please be cautious of before you're rushing into anything. Really give yourself that time. A lot of people are rushing into things because they see other people doing it, and it may not be right for you. So you have to know what is right for you and what isn't. And I feel like I say that line often, that spirit brings through that line often, but understanding and knowing when you're ready and when you're not, when you need to observe, like I said, this rising, and when you need to share, right? And not just sharing, but when you need to act and when you need to contemplate. And so please don't rush into anything. This energy coming through is saying, take your time. This is not a time to rush. This is not a time to push yourself. If you push yourself right now, you're going to find yourself really uncomfortable and super frustrated with things and the way you're getting response to things, because right now, it's rather than pushing forward, especially because Mercury is going into retrograde tomorrow. We know that and a lot of planets go into retrograde, but this one is, I think, people think is so significant, or it's always coming to the surface because it has a lot to do with our relationships and our communication, which is what we always look at in this life, in this physical life. So don't rush, okay? Don't rush to move forward. Give yourself enough time to contemplate, but also, this is saying that people are wanting to rush forward. We're wanting to do these things. And you need to have the authority, or that authority over your ego to tell yourself, no, this is not right for me right now, and I need to give myself more time, or I'm just not ready and I'm going to give myself more time to think about it, or more time to prepare. Also, because it is the retrograde tomorrow, giving yourself time to work on the things that are coming up rather than trying to push forward things that you really want, because those things, if you keep pushing forward to those things, they are not going to work out the way that you thought they are going to work out, because you're supposed to be giving attention, and I don't want to say supposed to be, but giving more attention to what is coming up, because it's giving you the opportunity to heal it. And like I said, there has been some really deep shit coming up, especially for me. So I reflect or project the collective, my energy. So yes, it's whatever you're feeling come up, take care of it. Take care of yourself. Nurture yourself like a baby, right? What is a baby's needs? That's why you have to think about yourself right now. What are your needs? And then give yourself that attention. Okay. Tuesday. This is so funny. Tuesday, March 5th, 2019. The Lover's card. Harmony. feeling a space. Okay, the Lovers card coming in upright is signifying that harmony. It's signifying the love. It's signifying the relationships. And so this is saying to yourself, in terms of self, let's talk about self for a second before we go into other relationships. I need to close this door. Okay, in terms of self, feeling aligned and in harmony with yourself, feeling aligned with yourself, knowing what does your self need at this time, feeling that you're giving yourself the attention that it requires in order to continue to move forward. But also, it's that space of radical acceptance for where you are. It's also accepting that maybe it's your time to deserve, maybe it's your time to speak, whatever it is, but it's accepting that about yourself. When we see this card come up in the Lovers card, and it's the balance and it's the harmony and it's that love, not only for ourselves but for others, it gives us that contentment, that opportunity to feel pure contentment for our lives and all that we are. So today is preparing us for tomorrow, right? Today we're moving through things so that we can bring that harmony to ourselves. But the reason why that this energy came up, and it was like really, that's how I felt it today when I first got up, is because it's giving us that time to pull back to ourselves. We're not pushing ourselves out there if we don't need to be out there. And this could be more about us giving attention to ourselves, and also knowing what we need to heal and move through, and what wounds are we still working through right now. That's contentment. Being content with the fact that you have wounds. Being content with the fact that you're going through a rebirth. Being content with the fact that there are things that we need to let go of. That contentment is really, that's a powerful space to be in. You can build a lot from that space, and you can move a lot from that space. Wednesday, March 6, 2019, the King of Swords coming in reverse. The King of Swords is somebody who has that mental stamina that we are all looking for to move through life, right? But in reverse, it's saying there are things that are messing with your mentality and you're allowing it, right? Or it's also coming in and saying that you need to take hold of your mental status, your thoughts, your beliefs, your attitudes. That is something that you have control of. So when it's getting away from you, you have to remember that that is because you're allowing it. When somebody affects us, when somebody pulls us out of alignment with ourselves, it's because we allow it. So there's a difference between the state of allowance, meaning we're allowing and receiving what it is that's for us so that we can heal, and also allowing people to pull us outside of ourselves. But remember, a lot of times that we are triggered, it's because we need to continue to work on that specific area. So when you feel yourself being really triggered mentally, with thoughts, actions, beliefs, and attitudes, on Wednesday, remember and observe what it is that you are thinking and feeling, mostly thinking about, because you're then giving yourself the opportunity to redirect and recreate. When you have a thought and you're continuously thinking about that thought, until you recognize that thought, you're not going to know what it is that you need to do. If you're constantly thinking of a negative thought, but you don't recognize that negative thought, you're giving momentum to that negative thought. Now, as soon as you recognize that negative thought, you're like, oh, I was thinking negatively, we're going to say about ourselves. I was thinking negatively about myself. Now that I notice that, I'm going to redirect and talk to myself nicer. I'm going to take care of those thoughts. So if you're thinking negatively about a situation, or you're feeling bitter or frustrated, then it's because you're giving those situations or those people or those things more attention that you're giving yourself, or more attention that you're giving those people than you are to what your soul is asking of you to give attention to. Let me give another example. Looking at people and noticing that they are getting everything that they want. And so your mind keeps racing. Oh, I'm not getting anything I want. So as soon as you recognize that you are saying, I'm not getting anything I want, the redirection is to appreciate and look at all that you have in your life right now. So that's what Wednesday is about, is looking at, paying attention, not giving too much attention, but noticing when you're allowing those negative thoughts to run, because you are giving it momentum. But it's also showing you where you need to be giving attention in your own truth, in your own energy field, in your own life, in your own soul, in your own body. Okay? Thursday. Oh, I love this. Thursday, March 7th, 2019. The Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is another space of harmony. So it's kind of like it's like this week is like a wave. Like we're going to have a day of like, yes, and then we'll have a day of harmony, and we'll have a day of fucked up, and then we'll have a day of harmony. But it's really bringing, what I also think about this is the balance in the chakras, because these two lines that crisscross over each other, and I can't remember what that specific symbol is called. It reminds me of the nadis, the Pingala and Ida, the nadis in the body that are masculine, feminine, and then they reach to the top for the unity. So it's balancing in your own way, because remember, balance, everybody gets so caught up on balance being like this. Balance can be this. You may need to give more attention to your divine feminine that day and allow yourself to be nurtured and receive. Or you may need to give more that day and allow yourself to be that authority in your own life. But when you recognize it, that's when you're able to notice where you need that balance. So this day on Thursday is giving us that opportunity to see where it is that we need to balance without being linear, because balance isn't always linear. Yes, when we're weighing things and we want it to be even with weight, but we are not linear beings. We grow in like this. We grow in a squiggle, in a spiral, right? Which is not linear. So giving yourself that opportunity to see where you need to give more attention to you, where you need to give more attention to maybe something else in your life. Maybe you need to give more attention to your work that specific day. But one thing that I always think about too is to pull in this energy. If you get up in the rising and you don't grab for your phone and you just notice your energy, this is how you're going to know where you need more balance. A lot of people are always grabbing for their phones. They're always grabbing for this. Now, I'll turn on music and I'll dance or, whatever with my family, but I'm observing the energy that of the collective or of my individual self before anything. So I know what I need to give attention to that specific day before I check everything. And yes, maybe sometimes I'll pick my phone up and show my healthy skincare or whatever, my skincare routine, but I'm not looking at anything else. And that's one thing. As soon as we get up, we look at other things, and that will draw us out of being able to see what it is that we need that specific day. So giving yourself time, and let's just practice it. Just practice it on Thursday and just see how you feel. On Thursday, before you grab anything, just check in with yourself and say, okay, how am I feeling today? Do I need to, maybe do I need more time for myself? Maybe do I need more time for this? But recognize that before you do anything else. Friday, March 8th, 2019, the Judgment card, the absolution, overcoming guilt, right? Overcoming those spaces of where we have judged ourselves, but also being judged by source, by saying, please God, that saying, please God, accept me for my sins. Well, you have to also accept yourself for those sins. So this rebirth energy that comes through following the judgment is, relieving your guilt, relieving those frustrations, healing through those wounds, not judging yourself for the mistakes that you made, but allowing God or source to say to you, hey, you are human, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to do things, but you have to forgive yourself first, okay? Before you can move on from anything. And I feel that's a lot with what this retrograde is going to be doing is relieving guilt and forgiveness within ourselves. rather than other people. It's more about forgiving and healing, or forgiving ourselves for the things that maybe we have done, and releasing our guilt for the things that we have done. Saturday, March 9th, 2019, the Hierophant, and this is spiritual guidance. It's like the priest of the church, right? Seeking out spiritual guidance, seeking out guidance from others, or being the person to guide. And this is external guidance. This is like collective guidance, because he's coming in upright. So seeking that guidance in which you may need to help you move through things. Remember, we have so many tools to help us move through spaces, whether it's astrology, tarot, different types of divination, scrying, which, by the way, I want to tell you guys about, off the subject for a second, but I like to scry in the tub with the lights off. And I don't know if that would be considered scrying. I don't know, but it's a type of divination that I use. So, looking outside of yourself for that guidance. Sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need that validation. Sometimes we need that, going to church or listening to Abraham Hicks or a podcast or watching somebody's live reading or something of that nature. So seeking that outside of yourself if you need it, and when you need it, and how you need it. Yes, the answers are all within us, but sometimes we just need somebody to be like, especially when you do it on your own all of the time, sometimes it is nice to have somebody to just say, hey, this is the direction that you need to go, and you were right in going in that way. Sunday, March 10th, 2019, the King of Wands. And when I think of the King of Wands, I think of opportunity, I think of abundance, I think of prosperity, I think of fertility. And so something is just not ready yet because he's coming in reverse, but the delays happen from ourselves. We cause those specific delays. So on Sunday, rather than trying to push yourself to finish something, you are creating your delay by not releasing, and you're creating more resistance by pushing. When something is happening and you automatically are feeling fearful or the need to work even harder, you're creating more resistance rather than just allowing things to flow. And I listened, and I resonated with that really deeply. And then the same day that I thought about that, I was listening to an Abraham Hicks video, and Abraham was talking about how as soon as people, this is not even how Abraham was explaining it, but I'm going to explain it in this way. As soon as people are fearful of something, and I downloaded this energy, pretty sure it was Saturday, and I shared it, and that's when then I listened to the Abraham Hicks video. But as soon as people are fearful of something, they react. So this is what this is saying. So rather than reacting as soon as you have a worry or a frustration or a fear, give yourself some time to ground and then respond. Maybe all you need to do is to surrender. Maybe you need to do something else, but reacting to the situation will only create more resistance in your life, rather than giving yourself some time to contemplate before reacting to it. Give yourself some time to ground, see what it is that you really need to do. Maybe you just needed to release that worry. Maybe you needed to go work out. Maybe you needed to do something else rather than the way that you were about to react out of unconscious reaction or unconscious wounds or fears or frustrations, okay? Now, the next 4 cards that are coming up are going to be associated with the new moon in Pisces. And I'm going to just put them all together really quick. Okay, I really love this spread. Okay, so I have the World card in reverse, the 9 of Cups in reverse, the 8 of Pentacles upright, and the Hermit upright. So how this is all coming through is really, the Hermit is the one that has to go within, to look within and find the answers and see where we need, okay? This aligning with the Hermit, meaning seeing where we still need that deep internal work. What are we still working on? This coming in reverse is there's some emotional wounds that we thought that we were actually healing, but what I think about him sitting on this is, don't get too comfortable. So there are some wounds that we thought that we were healing through, that we got too comfortable with, that are going to come up. Things are not complete yet because we're still working on them. So this new moon in Pisces is also going along with Mercury, and I'm pretty sure Mercury is moving through Pisces also. And we know that that Pisces is a water sign. It's very fluid, it's very emotional, it's very intuitive. So connecting to your own intuition and finding the answers within inside yourself, and knowing where you need to still do that deep internal work, right? And then I'm thinking about Saturday, how the Hierophant came in and seeking healing. So what I'm seeing is reaching for some healing outside of yourself, maybe some Reiki, maybe a guidance session from a spiritual practitioner. And remember, it doesn't have to be me. I think people think when I say that, I mean it has to be me. No, because I may be not somebody that you want to work with. And you know, my mentor always says that find a spiritual advisor. I may not be the spiritual advisor for you. I'm the same way. I may not be the one for you. So make sure you find one that that is for you. Okay. Maybe you want to get crystal healing done. Maybe whatever it is. So that's what I'm seeing with Saturday, with the Hierophant coming up. But this new moon in Pisces is really recognizing where we need to still do that internal work, where we need to give ourselves more attention and time and love before we're putting ourselves out there in certain areas. Because sometimes we want to rush because we see other people doing things, when really we need to be giving that time and attention to ourselves. So emotionally, there's those wounds that are going to affect your emotions, that you thought doors were closed and that you thought you have closed the doors to, but it's not yet. Okay, you can't close that door yet, because there are still some things that you need to work through and release before those doors can close. But don't get upset with yourself because you still have to work through it. The point of it is, the reason why the Pisces energy is allowing us to feel that and go deep within and see all those spaces, is because why do you want to carry that stuff with you when you're trying to grow and evolve? That's like bringing emotional baggage into a relationship that you really want it to be a supportive relationship. Well, if you're bringing baggage, you're going to expect that other person's going to probably bring baggage with them also. So think about that as your evolution. The more that you give yourself time to look within, the more you give yourself time to reflect and observe, the more you know where you are still working on things, and you're also going to give yourself that time before moving forward. Now, you can obviously heal and still do things. You can heal and be a guide. I seen that meme like 15 times last week. You can heal and still guide others. It's just when you know that you're ready, when you feel comfortable enough within yourself to say, hey, I am still healing myself, but here's what I'm also doing to guide myself, or Source has given you the go or the push to be a guide for others, then that's also your role. You have to know what your role is each day. Every day we have a different purpose. Some day will be the day to observe. Some day will be the day to guide. But we have to know there may be months where you're observing. There may be months where you're guiding. There may be years, and maybe there was years where you thought you were supposed to be observing, but really you were guiding, and you've been getting that push. But you won't know until you actually go within and see, okay, what is it? What is Source asking of me? What is my inner voice, my inner spirit, my inner God asking of me right now? And what do I need to still work on? That doesn't mean you can't guide others, but there are times where you need to just observe, but you have to know when that time is by sitting with yourself. Like this rising, there was no way that without the things that if I didn't do these practices today, there was no way that I was going to be in a space to guide, because I didn't give myself the attention that I needed. And once I meditated and moved my body and just sat with myself for a little bit, and observed my own energy, then I knew, okay, now I can observe myself also, and the collective, but also guide, because I grounded myself and did what I needed to do to work through my own wounds at that moment. I love you all. You should see baby kitty right there. Baby kitty. He's just so damn cute. I just love baby kitty. Thank you, everybody. I still have not uploaded one video from Saturday, so I will do that, and I will definitely upload this to my YouTube. But I want to thank you, everyone, for your support, for your love, and Yes, just take a date. There's a difference between planning for certain things, like planning your finances. Like, obviously we do that, but there's also a thing of taking it day by day when it comes to your own healing, because you may not know what you need tomorrow. It's just about what do you need today and in this moment when you're with your spiritual healing. Now, when it comes to our physical life, yes, sometimes we have to plan things because, I mean, shit, I have to plan that I have to go pick up my kid. Shit, I have to plan that I have to pay my bills, right? But when it comes to your deep wounds, your soul self, your spiritual body, you know, allow yourself to move as that body needs to move, as that specific energetic body needs to move, which is fluid, especially during this time with everything in fucking Pisces. Because fuck Pisces. I love Pisces though. My mom's a Pisces. My North Node's in Pisces. Very emotional. My son's a Pisces rising. I love you all.